bunting and craps, right? Now, I know some of you on the baseball side of things are going to give you this advice here, right? They're going to say, hey, how you bunt, you don't bunt. You just hit dingers, right? Remember the commercial, the chicks dig the long ball commercial, right? You know what? I think bunting to me as a baseball coach, it's my favorite thing. I was a small ball coach. I wasn't blessed with a lot of players that could hit dingers. I always felt like if I could get a guy on first base, I was getting a run, right? And trust me, my teams were a nightmare to play against, right? We were a run an inning, great pitching, and that's how we won our ball games. And so I've become accustomed to this small ball way of thinking in baseball, right? So let me talk to you about small ball and craps. And I want you think about the baseball analogy that I'm going to give you here is, and you've heard this hopefully before, which is get them on, get them over, get them in. Let me go ahead and take that off, put this on here. And the get them on, get them over, get them in way of thinking is this: get me to first base, right? That leadoff batter, how bunting is a lost art, it is. Get me to first base. I don't care how you do it. There's 6 ways to get to first base, right? Get yourself on first base. If you get to first base, that's the get them on phase. And in craps, the get them on phase for me is the first 3 rolls. Get yourself to foundation. Brian likes to use the word foundation. Get yourself to your base. Whatever you're looking to play, get there in 2 or 3 rolls. That's your number one first priority. Get to base. Okay? 3 rolls or less. Get even, get out of the hand. I'll show you a way or 2 to get there today. Any means necessary, right? If you're playing ball, take a hit. I don't care. Wear one, right? If you dink one, I don't care what it is. Get yourself on. Take the walk. Take a walk for the team, please. Get yourself on base, right? That's number one. That's get them on. The get them over phase, that guy at first base, now we have a 2-phase job here, right? Because in phase 2, I want to get my runner to at least second, maybe third if I can pull it off, right? That's where the hit and run comes in, right? A little bit of juice from the second batter, get him over. That might be hitting opposite against the shift, right? That might be a dink. That might be anything. It's not a home run at that point. We're looking to get that runner to second or third. If he's fast, I'm getting to third base on something, right? Now when he's over, right? In the get him over phase in craps, I'm saying 2 to 4 rolls. After you've got the foundation, take 2 or 4 rolls, lock something up. Lock up a profit. When I got a guy on second base, and MLB will tell you, you're thinking you got it locked. If I got a guy on second base with nobody out, or third base, God forbid, nobody out, I'm getting that run in. It's a lock. I'm using that analogy in craps to say when you lock it in, get a little profit. Whatever strategy that you're going to use at that second phase, you might change from phase 1 to phase 2 to a new strategy. Totally fine. Lock up a profit at that point. And once you're locked, once I'm locked in, that's when I can sit back and go to drive one. And the get him in phase, the batter who gets to get him in, whoever that happens to be, that's my 3, 4, or 5 hitter, that guy can swing. Because that guy's job is to get it out of the infield, right? We're looking with a guy at third base, either to squeeze it in, or I'm looking to get one deep, right? Give me a ball to the fence, right? I'll take a sac fly all day long. Give me something hard hit that I can get that guy in on, right? That's when you're swinging for the fences, right? That third, especially if he's there with nobody out, right? I'm looking to whack one. And that's the small ball, the 3 phases of getting a run in baseball. I said no different than football. Football, first down, red zone, score. 3 phases. And if you look at your crap strategies and the way that you approach the table, think about approaching the table with that mindset, right? Get them on, get myself the foundation, get them over, show a little bit of profit, get them in, start whacking it, right? Approach your gameplay in 3 tiny phases, 2 or 3 rolls, 2 or 3 rolls, whatever rolls come after that. If you look at it, each shooter as tiny bits and like you're really trying to get like a little bit accomplished as you go, I think that's where you're going to make your money. It's this, let me just, unzip and lay it out on the table for you to see approach to craps where hey, it's always going to be a home run and you're hitting 650 home runs and striking out, 1,000 times. Doesn't help the team, helps you. Doesn't help the team. In the long run, you don't win enough to make that happen. So I want to see us approach the game in phases. And that is my pep talk for you today, right? That's where we're going to go to the table and sort of play with. So hopefully that makes a little bit of good sense there, kind of what I'm saying. And let's go through it. All right, here we go. I have no money in my rack. I'm just going to talk theory. So let's do the get them over phase, okay? The get them over, or the get them on phase rather, could be a lot of things. I'm going to showcase a strategy today that I've done before. I haven't given it enough time though. And here's my get on phase, right? Get them on. It's going to be skill and lux, 66. I don't have enough money out there. It should be 66 inside. Now we're going to assume a $10 table here, okay? On a $10 size table, you're going to go a little bit above the minimum. So instead of 44, it's going to be 66 on the inside, okay? Now you can do this phase. This is the time for your hybrid. And what I might do here is a $10 don't. That's small enough bet. I don't care about hedging that bet. $10 don't is totally fine. Let's use that. Puck is off. Bets are going to be off. I have my button here. Bets will be off. And let's just say we get a number. It doesn't matter what the number is. Let's say we got an 8. Okay, we go to the 8. I'm going to leave the 8 sitting there. I'm not going to pull it doan. It's fine. We're actually hedged on that. But what I'm going to do is the math. You have $44 in here. I have $10 here. So if I'm going to hedge this out, I'm like $34 light. I need another way to win 34 bucks. This is the time to do this. Now I'm going to lay the odds on it. Instead of going out with a huge don't bet, we'll lay my odds, right? Against the 8, 60 will pay us 50. Plus that is 60. On the 7, we're going to make 12 bucks or 16 bucks. On an inside number, we're going to make whatever the inside number pays. On the 8, we're just going to, the 8, who cares at this point? But what I want to do here is get myself on base. We're going to try and get ourselves on, get to foundation. And the way we do that, let me roll so I get a number here. There's a 4. Well, there's something besides the 8. There's a, come on. Really? 9. Just take any number that's not the 8 for right now. What you do in this case is you drop a buck from your rack. Why? Because 15 pays 21. 15 pays 21. I drop a buck from my rack and we go up a unit. We're going to press by everything by 1 unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go to 24 in the middle here. Now we're at 88. We went from 66 to 88 on the inside. And let's just get another number. Let's just say that we get, I don't know, well, it's not an 8. I keep pulling the 8 up for some reason. Let's get not a 7, we'll get a 5 this time. So the 5 rolls. And when the 5 rolls, again, it pays 21 bucks. So in 2 rolls, remember, the roll to come out, we don't care about. 2 inside numbers, great. There's 21 more dollars, okay? What we do now is go back down to table minimum, 44. So $66 to $88 on that first hit, pushed up. We're gonna bring everything down to table minimum, like so. And what comes back to my rack, let's do the math real quick. I'll get all these things here. That's gonna be 50, 60, 5, right? There's 60, did I count that right? Yeah, 65 bucks, okay? So we're back to our rack here. And if I go back into the rack, I am now clean, right? We're clean. This is paid for. In fact, I don't need this anymore. This is where Brian was saying to you earlier, my condom analogy is this: take the condom off. You had this here for protection while you were doing work. I don't need the protection anymore. My work is done. I can pull this out, right? Pull that thing off, and I'm back now. I've got, my rack is ready to play that same strategy again. 2 hits, and I'm square with the table. I've locked up where I am. Now that's the get them on phase, right? The get them over phase now is to get just a little bit of profit, okay? Again, that's 2 rolls. If you can get 2 hits, 2 rolls to get to this point, you're doing good work, right? You're ready to rock and roll now. Here we go. Let's take another couple of hits. It doesn't matter what it is and what strategy you use here. I don't care what you do. You can pull all this down if you want to. Your strategy now can change. Pull the whole thing down and become better with odds. Totally fine. I'm gonna do it like this. Let's take 3 hits in here. Let's do one of my favorite ways to play, because Brian's here. I'm gonna show you Brian's way, right? Let's take a hit on the 6, okay? I'm going to avoid the 8 just because of I want to do math, okay? Hit on the 6. It pays me at this point 14 bucks, okay? We're going to do the Hawaiian Crapshooters Pineapple Press, which is squeezed from the inside out, right? First hit, we're going to press up the 6 and the 8. Boom, boom. Make them both look like 15 or 18 and rack a $2 profit. The second hit, we're going to press the 5 and 9. Let's say that the 6 hits again. Let's say the 6 here, 24 pays 28 bucks. 24 pays 28. What I'll do is press the 5 and 9. And I can press them both by 15. I'll take those $2 back out of my rack, make that look like 15. Press them up. Those are actually a quarter now with that press. So again, I'm back to even. I use my $2 winnings from here. Now I'm at 24, 24, 25, 25. The third hit, whatever one of those things hits, is going to win 35 bucks. There's 35, okay? On the 5 or 9. The 6 and the 8 are going to pay 28. Doesn't matter what it is. You're going to take 15 bucks to the 4 and 10, right? And rack the nickel. So I've gotten my inside, my mids, and my outside all pressed up in 3 rolls. My 4th roll, whatever hits, let's just say it's the 5, okay? 25, 35 on the 5. What do we do again? We lock the profit, come back down once again. Now, table minimum across the board, right? There's $10 there. We're going to take the 25 down and go to 10. We'll take the 8 down and go back again. We'll regress one more time. Everything now, table minimum, and I've got 25, 75, 85, $91. And hey, look at that, 100 bucks in my rack. If I add all that up, 100 bucks in the rack. Boom. 5 hits, 100 bucks. Now we're getting in, right? We got them on. 2 hits, 44, 66, or sorry, 66, 88, 44. That's our get them on. Get them over, pineapple press. 6 rolls in. If we got 6 nice rolls, we've got ourselves locked. 6 rolls. That's a beautiful way to play. Get them in phase. Now you swing for the fences. You got profit locked. Profit's locked. Now you go. This is when Brian will say, press to the speakers. This is the time to be aggressive with whatever way you want to play. Okay. Now that's just a way to do it. And what I mean by that way to do it, pardon me, while I drink the coffee here. What I mean by the way to do it is this. I don't care what strategies you use. That was one example of a get them on, a get them over, and a get them in play. You got hundreds of strategies to choose from, right? Myself and On Point and Brian and Jeff and everybody, Jacob at Wager, everybody's showing you strategies all day long. I don't care which one you use in which phase. What I do care about is that you take each phase for what it is. And notice that at the end of each phase, I regressed back down. That's my way of playing it, because the way to get to foundation is to lock the profit you got here in your rack. You're not at foundation until what you started with is back in your rack. That means you're at foundation. You're not at the lock-in profit stage after phase 2, the get them over phase, until you've experienced profit from your foundation and locked it up. Then at that point, I don't care what happens, right? Whatever you want to do. Now, again, I did a couple of easy ways to do it. We did the skill and luck, inside press. I'm not sure if he has a name for that strategy, but that pattern of pressing, that 66 to 88 to 44, easy. Pineapple press, 4 hits to get your money, easy if you can get the dice rolls. Remember when we looked at the strategies, we looked at the monster rolls that the Hawaiian Crapshooters did. And Mar had that roll that was like 13. Remember she had 13 roller? And I said to you, man, it's hard to make money on a 13 roller because there wasn't a lot of repeat numbers. But that 13 roller, she had 9 box numbers before she hit the 7. She had, I think, 9 boxes, 2 horns, and a 7 or something like that, right? I've showed you how to make $100 here in 6 box number hits. If I'm playing on Mar, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that exact strategy. I'm going to get up, get even. I'm going to make some profit and show my rack. And now if Mar gets past her average, which is, again, 9 to 13 rolls or so is her average. If she goes off on a 20 roller, this 64 across here becomes the foundation, the new foundation to start building from. And now I'm going to do a half press all the way through. 10 pays 18 goes to 15. 15 pays 30 goes to a quarter. Quarter pays 50, it goes to 35. I'm just going to keep pressing these things up at a half press and always be collecting from here forward. That's the way I'm going to approach that. Now, that's today's strategy. You could come at this a whole different way, right? You could Butterberg the whole thing, right? You could come at this thing and say, well, my foundation is going to be 44 inside. That's my foundation, right? Let's say that's what you got. Or maybe your foundation is 64 across. Let's say that's going to be your foundation. You might be a little more aggressive. Okay, you might come out here with a Butterberg at $100 on the don't. And you might come across here with a 160 across bet, including that point. Right, there's your that. And we have caps on the 6 and the 8. And remember, the Butterberg, once you beat the come out roll, this protects most of that. You've got 160 here and 100 there. Again, you're putting it on to protect yourself while you're doing work. 2 hits up in here. All of those, the inside numbers at least, right? 8 pays 35, and the 5 and 9 pay 35. Guess what that adds up to? That adds up to, there's 50, 65, right? That in 2 hits, all this comes down. That becomes 64 across in 2 hits. You could reduce this back down. You don't need it anymore. This is, again, condom, don't need it. It was here to save this. I got to my base, I can pull it down, go 64 across and whack it. I could leave this here and transition now into a come bet with odds strategy for my phase 2. However you see it, right? You can keep it as simple as you want to and just play the thing, or you can switch completely, go from a cross better to a come better. Totally fine in a long roll to do that. You could go from an across better to this and do what Waylon did yesterday, right? You can do the lay 4, lay 10 and just eke it out chip by chip by chip by chip for the next hour and do this. Once you're at base, I don't care what you do. Once you have your base back in your rack, once you've got them on and your base, your initial starting bankroll is here, and I've shown a tiny profit, guess what? I'm doing this all day long. But that's your approach. Your approach has got to be a little bit of get them on, get them over, get them in. I think approach the game in those 3 phases. Now, you're going to get beat sometimes in the get them on phase, right? That's going to happen. You're going to have those ugly, ugly short rolls. You will get beat in the get them on phase. That's why we say your initial bankroll, your buy-in, needs to be 10 times what your get them on base bets are. Whatever that is, 10 times that. So if my base is 66, like we're gonna do, I'll do the skill and luck way here, right? My buy-in's got to be 10 times what that's going to be. Let's take a look at what that spread looks like. I'm going to put that all back out here again. I'll take all this money away. Let's get reset with that system. So we're going to go ahead and do 66 on the inside. There's 3. I need one more dollar. It's going to be a $10 don't and probably 60 in odds, right? That's what I need to make the strategy work, to make this one work. My get them on phase is 66 plus 60, that's 126 plus 10, 136. So I need $1,300 to get to here. We talked yesterday about your bankroll has to support your habit, right? So I need $1,300 and change to get to here because there is a worst case scenario, right? Where after you get this thing, the point gets hit, you lose your whole trial there, getting out. Now you got to work from behind. Let's do it. Let's just go ahead and set this up. I'll take the odds back to the rack. We'll turn these bets off for the come out roll. And let me switch my table view over. And I'm just going to roll this out a couple of times here and see how that works. All right, let's roll it out. Let's go ahead and get a point established. We'll see how we do here. What I will do is there's my $60 in odds there. I'm going to keep another just random stack. I'll put like $50 in red. And we'll do 50 in red, and I'll do 2 more greens. Just have them in the rack in case it goes south while we're playing here as kind of a backup stash. We'll put that over here as backup stash. But for now, we're going to play with this, and hopefully we can get ourselves on. So let's do the dice. Where are they? We'll do whites today. I think the white dice show better. I made some mistakes the other day rolling because I couldn't see with the glare what was being rolled. So there's a 5 for the first point. We'll be on the 5. And again, we're going to leave this here because the goal was to not care about that, right? That's our goal. So the bets are now on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and lay that for 60. That'll win 40 on the 7. So 40 will not quite cover us up here. 40 plus 50 will be close. I'll take that $16 loss here. Again, I'm not going to hedge this thing for very long, just enough to get ourselves through. So there's the 9. The 9 pays 21 bucks. $21. And again, we'll drop $1 from our rack. Should have the buck there. And let's press the whole thing up by 1 unit. Everything goes up by 1. Now I'm at 15, 15, and 24. I'm sorry, 20, 20, and 24 on the inside. These will all pay, if we can get another score hit in here, 28 bucks if we get it in. Okay? There's a 5. That's a bummer that actually happened. I wish that wouldn't have happened, obviously, because I want to see this work, but let's do it anyway. Let's go ahead and play the system out. So that pays 21 bucks, right? Or I'm sorry, pays 28, 25, $28 for the 5. Now what I'm going to do here with this win is regress back down. So we got to 66 to 88. We're going to go back down to table minimum, pull them all down to here. I am going to lose this. We're going to lose 25, 50, 60, 70. We're 70 bucks down because we hit the point, which is a bummer. But let's check out where our rack ends up. Okay, if I take these whites and I turn them in, my gracious, there's the 5 bucks. These nickels here, there's 50, 60, $71, 72 bucks. So if I actually take 50, yeah, we're not quite where I can get greens there, but we're close. These are 2 greens. Oh my God. That's 2 greens for the 10 reds. And if you look at what's in the rack here right now, we've earned back this 10 bucks plus 60. We've earned back what we lost. We're just now, though, at this stage, not at foundations. Now you got to work again. You got to get this built back up again. So the choice is this. Do you want to go ahead and go back to 66 again, unprotected 66, and work that a second time on the next shooter without the protection? Because I can certainly do it. I can throw 22 more bucks out here and bring these back up again. Because I'm still, like I said, I'm still considering myself in the get them on phase. I'm not yet at foundation. I think that's probably the best thing to do is put 22 bucks out here. And we're going to go ahead and start again at 66, but unprotected. We'll leave 50 bucks here, so we're still down. Let's get a new point. We're not going to care about the come out roll so much. There's a 7 on the come out. Doesn't matter. There's an 8. Great. The point's going to be 8. Let's do the same work. Okay, if we can get ourselves up and down, we're going to end up being all right. Here we go. There's a 314. Doesn't matter. There's a 549. That rolled over. That was a 9. 549. So again, 15 pays 21. I'm going to drop a buck. I know I don't have a dollar sitting here. I'm just going to pretend I did. I want to break change. So forgive me for I have sinned, but that's what's going to happen. We're going to go up to 88 in here. Let's get one more hit. All we need is one more hit before a 7, right? There's the 9. 639. That pays 28. We'll pay it here. $28. There's 25, 28. And again, it all comes down. Now we had to work a little harder than I wanted to get here. There's our 44 inside, okay? Here is our foundation. There's another nickel. That's a quarter. Where are we? 50, 65, that's our 66 across, right? That's our starting inside money. Over here, we needed 70 bucks. We're at 55, 56. So we're like 15 bucks behind. Not bad. I would consider us right now being on. If you're in the get them on, get them over, get them in phase, we got on, right? It took us an extra little bit of work to get there, but we got ourselves on base. And here we are. We have our foundation totally paid for. We're ready to go for another shooter if we need to. Now we're gonna go ahead and lock profit. We're gonna take 2 or 3 rolls. I'm gonna try and press this pineapple style, right? If I can roll some okay numbers, we'll get ourselves pressed out and get ourselves some locked up. Here we go. There's a, well, we didn't get it, 437. Bummer. Didn't work out that time. Let's do it again. Hopefully have a little better luck on run 2. So let's go ahead and do a don't for 10. And I'll get my 66 preset. So there's 75. 15, 15, 15. 15. 18, 18, that's 66 for 75. And we'll take $9 and change to the rack. And we're left with a little bit less than we'd like for the odds. So we're gonna have a little bit less protection after the come out, but that's the way I'm gonna do this. I could dip into here and make that right. Point's gonna be 4, that's great. So with the 4 as a point, the best I got in my rack here is 25, 35, 40 bucks. So we're really behind here, right? But again, I'm not gonna burn my excess right now. We're gonna go ahead and play this thing with what we have left in the front of the rack. Again, that was kind of there as a wing and a prayer if we need it. So here we go. 5, 1, 6. So the 6 is gonna come up, it's gonna pay 21. Drop a buck from our rack to get pressed up. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 4. One more inside hit on this shooter, come on. There it is, the 5, perfect. It's gonna pay 28. And again, come back down to table minimum. So it goes to 10, it goes to 12, this goes to 12, this goes back down to 10, and all that can come back to the house. 3, 4, 5, there's our 5. There's our nickel. There's another quarter. And we're back to the house with our starting bankroll intact. In fact, I don't need the odds anymore. The odds are a self-serve bet, pull them down. We're at foundation. Get them on, completed. Now we gotta get them over. We gotta show a profit in here. Can we get a profit on this roll and lock it up? Okay, 6 to 8. Now, think about yesterday's conversation, okay? If my strategy needs to win me 1 unit or 2 units, I just won 2 units. You could be done right here. You're get them in, you're get them over phase, your lock and profit here could be done right now. If that's your goal, was to just win 1 or 2 units for the day, you're in and you're done. Your foundation got you to where you needed to be. You're totally fine to walk here, right? We're not gonna do it today. We're gonna play the full thing out, but I wanted to show that to you. So the first hit again, press the insides. Rack a couple. That's 1 hit. If we can get another one, we're gonna get the 5 and 9 press up. There's a 1, 2, 3 shocker. There's a hard 10. We're not on it yet. We will be, hopefully. There's a 4, 1, 5. 4, 1, 5. All right, 10 pays 14. We're gonna press the 5 and 9 with what we have. We're gonna go to just 5 each on the 5 and 9. Now we're gonna grab the 4 and 10. If we can get an inside hit here, we'll grab the 4 and 10, and then we'll go for the money shot. There's a hard 10. We've hit the hard 10 twice, not being on it. But that's, again, part of the way that we're playing this thing is that. There's the 5, 3, 8. That's gonna pay $28. Right, we're at, 4 units there. No, we're at 3 units, but it's 21, sorry. 21. We'll rack a buck, get the 4 and 10. Now it's money shot time. Okay, let's get anything we hit here, 5, 3, 8 again, that's awesome. So we did it. We pressed the 6 and 8, we pressed the 5 and 9, we grabbed the 4 and 10, we hit the 8. So the get him over phase is complete, right? That 8 is gonna pay 21 bucks. And we're gonna lock profit right now. We're gonna lock this up. We're locking that up. I'm gonna bring these 2 back down to minimum. Our first regression. Now we're at 64 across, and I've locked in, there's a quarter. Not a great profit this time, but we had a profit, which is good. 25, 35, 49 $9. I'll take a $50 win anytime I can. So I've locked it up, right? We had our get them on, we got even. Get them over, locked up a profit on the shooter for sure, and now we just go. Now we go half press, or whatever you want to do. There's an 8 again. 8 pays 14. Now we're getting in. We're just going to work. 14, I'll do a half press. So taking something back every time. 3, 2, 5. Okay, $10 5 pays again 14 bucks. We'll do a 15 for 1 this time. There's the buck for my rack. We'll pay 15. I'll press it up by 10. Take 5 back to the house. There's a 5 again, so 20 is going to pay. We'll do $28. Okay, 28 bucks. I'll half press it. I'll take 2 of these out this time, and we'll go up to 30 with it. So that'll take it to 30 bucks. To pay 42 coming back, and we'll rack these in. Okay, and this is where yesterday we talked about, well, you know, if you're going to get one hit and run, that's boring. I want the adrenaline rush. Well, here's the adrenaline rush, right? We worked really hard to get to a point where we're even in our rack, and now you get to play for keeps, okay? Wash. We lose the don't care about that. That 4 there is going to pay 18 bucks. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press it by 1 unit. I'm going to rack all of this. And what I'll probably do here soon is start getting the hard 4 and hard 10 in play. But for now, let's come out. 4, 2, 6, his new point is 6. Not working, of course, on the come out. There's our 7. Okay, so now we're done, but we did okay. Okay, in that 3 phases, we built ourselves up and brought ourselves down twice. We had 2 regressions built into the system. Each regression in this case was done for a very specific reason. I wanted to get ourselves to base, number 1. I wanted to lock up a profit, number 2. So if I'm playing for a unit count, that is 25 bucks. If I'm playing for a unit count, like I was talking about yesterday, then the point of locking up that middle profit there, that gets you your units for the day. That's your day goal win in that second phase. The second 3 or 4 hits was that point. The rest of it's gravy. After that, you're just playing for gravy. And let's go ahead and get our numbers counted up here. Okay, there's 75 more. Okay, so how do we do? Well, we started off the day with 64 across. We had a $10 don't, and we had, I'll get some nickels here for this quarter. $10 don't with $60 in odds. That was our initial play down here. We had 50, 60, 6. There's a missing dollar, but essentially 66 was our inside play, right? So phase 1 got us to base. We did some work. We made, it seems paltry, 75 bucks, right? The initial buy-in was 135. So we won over half our money back. That's a 50% profit. If you're looking to win 3 units today, you did it. If you're looking to win 1 unit, you won 1 unit right after the first piece there. So with that little bit of work that we did, and again, a super simple strategy, right? There's 0 thought that goes into those strategies. No thoughts at all, right? Those are just things you know how to do. Again, the phases, get them on, get them over, get them in, can be whatever you want. I'm not going to advocate for the pressing and regressing way, or advocate for the come betting way, or advocate for a pure ladder way. It doesn't matter what you do. As long as you get on and get yourself even quick, right? 2 to 3 rolls, get your money back. That's what I want. I don't care how you get there, right? I don't care if you press, go across, if you're betting the horn. I don't care what you do. Get your money back quickly. That's the get them on. Show a profit in your next 2 or 3 rolls. Lock something up in your rack so you know your own profit for the shooter. And then you're getting in, you can swing hard. That's when you're going to go nuts, right? With whatever you want to do. I know that seems like a lot. You know, I'm always preaching about keeping it simple, reliable, consistent. And here we are talking about, you know, 3 phases, and it seems complicated. But in reality, what I'm trying to do is break down the goal, the big number that you need to hit, into smaller pieces. From the goal, how many units must you win? How many wins must you get to that many units? And now we're looking at the table, how do you break down your gameplay into smaller chunks so you can hit those units and those goals more consistently and more reliably? That's what this is all about. So as you can see here, we're going to jump into phase one next. Phase one is all about getting to that foundation. You cannot springboard into profit without getting your bets paid for first. So we're going to jump deep now into the foundations, getting your gameplay set to play risk-free. I'm John. This is ProCraps. See you in phase one.